So has this ever happened to you? You turn the camera off and then some cool stuff happens. You think, "Ah, crap, I should have been recording." So I turned off my stream and continued to play with the truck. So what I've done is try to keep together what I've pulled off and in what order and reinstall things when I've taken them off. Hopefully I haven't made huge mistakes, but I have the giant manual to go through and fix it later. So I pulled off the wheels to make it easier because I really couldn't jack up my truck. I didn't have proper Lego jack stands and didn't actually want to spend time building them. So what I ended up doing is the original steering key was like that. And since I added this pack up here on the roof rack, it's going to be harder to work with this. And since it's so easy to just pull out, that's what I did. And I made this other key with a much larger wheel, and it fits in just the same way. And fortunately, this design doesn't fall apart when you pull that key out. I'm not sure. I'm like trying to hunt around there with my finger to go, why is that? But it's because there's a special piece that holds it in place, which is nice. So this makes it easier with the battery pack that's here. And I'm going to hold this so the diff can show you the moving wheel. Um, this functions. And I had to use um, this piece, and I decided to put it here just because. But so now we've got some ugly wires that I need to find a way to route. But if we open the hood, that feature is still retained. And over the engine block, I've put this assembly, and this allows me to have the cabling room that I need to actually go to the motor in the front. So this really breaks the realism and way that this works, but it functions. And that's what I was really looking for. I didn't want to lose the demonstration of the cylinders. And I'm just going to hold the driver's side wheel so you can see the spinning wheel there. What's really funny is that based on the friction for that diff, the driver's side just spins. The part that you're not seeing on camera just spins its little heart out, has no problem spinning. And the passenger side goes spin, 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 stop, spin, 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 stop. I don't know why that is. Um, but this is exactly the sort of thing that I wanted to do with it. It looks ugly, it looks hacky, it's ridiculous, but it is what I wanted to do. So in a future iteration, now that I've got something that functions, now I can start looking at, okay, what can I go buy on Bricklink to enhance this with? So one of the things I was trying to think about would be for the back of the truck, could I possibly fit this battery pack here and take the back seat out and somehow have it where I still have the connection for the power. The trouble with that would be the connectivity to power stuff is on the same area as the battery pack. So I don't think that would work necessarily unless I had it rotate it this way and have it so that I'd reach back into the back to flick that switch. But I've also got to look into other Lego bits and bobs because what's the main problem with this? There's no remote way to control this. It's just I can turn it on and then it goes to town. Well, that's great. So what I was thinking would be use the motor, find some way to hide this so that we have the cylinders pumping so that that realism is retained. But if the hood's closed, who cares? So that leaves us with our other option of, well, take this whole model and make it an electric car. pull out the engine block assembly, move this so that it lives where this is, and boom, you're done. Well, I really struggle to want to do that. I really don't want to engine swap this bad boy. What else? I need a remote way. I need some way to move this functionality so that it's inside and has some sort of remote servo to control it. I don't know if that's even the right word, but I want to be able to do this via remote connection. Let's see, how much actual turn is that? Because if I overturn it, it goes that radius, but functionally it's this one. If I turn it, I don't even get one full. I get half a turn, exactly 180 degrees of movement on this. That's neat. So I need something that can do 180 degrees of movement back and forth and get that located down in here. I don't mind removing the driver and passenger seat. It won't be immersion breaking for me if we pull out the seats. There's no driver in there. I had a little knockoff Lego Mario that I was gonna install because I thought that'd be hilarious, but I didn't do that. And I don't want to make it too far from its original setup because as it is, all I've had to take off was the middle of the hood, the original key, part of the front bumper lower assembly. I'm not even sure how this was connected. I'm assuming it's that direction, but I've lost it. And then the front bumper. And this is kind of troubling because this, I assume, would have our fog lights and stuff on here with if I had the stickers on. But certainly don't want to crash this into anything. That's for sure. So what I'm going to do while I'm on stream here is I'm going to install the wheels again and just sort of see what happens if I try to run this with the wheels on. Come on. I think this is going to be another spot where it might just be easier. Oh, don't make me use third-party tools to get you off, bud. I've really struggled to get this assembly back on. Of course, when I'm about to do pulling this off, geez, what is up with that? Why is that so tightly in there? Fine. You know what I'll do? I'll cheat. I will uninstall the whole assembly. That doesn't want to pull out. So we've pulled that steering control arm off. And then, oh, I can't pull the suspension knuckle off without really disassembling the crap out of this. And now I'm losing my steering knuckle, or my steering whatever words. And now I'm further behind because I have no idea how to get that in there. Okay, what am I doing wrong? No, this isn't what I wanted to spend my stream time doing. Just faffing about. There we go. That wheel on. I do love the way that the suspension subframe was set up, is that it still has power and it still moves. It's pretty genius. I just wonder how it functions under load. Like if I actually use the power kit, how's it going to behave? I wonder what the Lego designers had intended or in mind. There we go. And of course, now I can't just simply set it on the roof. Well, I guess I can if I just hold that. Remember, don't turn your real vehicles upside down. The insurance doesn't like it. Okay, I can't see what I'm doing, so I'm just going to keep trying other angles, because the trick is to get the 3 pegs here aligned. There we go. Okay, so final wheel is for the front. That wasn't so bad. It's like I just don't want it to run away on me. Okay, that's disconcerting that the way it stalled like that. So it does work, but that that torque wheel, I really do need to put that in so that if it can't provide enough torque, that it just stops. Because the way this is currently set up, it functions, but not quite the way I want. And now, since we've got the motor on here, I'm trying to see, like, there we go. It does light the lights up. I don't know if that shows up on camera. So I'm going to turn the I wish I knew that part name. I'm going to turn that off to the off setting. But the thing I hadn't talked about is I have lights that I've installed in the top lighting rack, and I'll just shine them up at you in the camera. And I think that's super cool. That was one of the things that I had genuinely intended to do. And I'm going to turn the lights down. That didn't make a difference. Trying to see if I can get this camera to behave any differently. Okay, that was me knocking my garbage can onto my feet. That's great. That's what I needed. Earth. I'm try a different approach. I'm just going to turn the lights off. There we go. I think that's super cool. Now, I would have liked to put those lights, where the headlights go, but we can settle for that. We've also got the problem of, since they're not covered over, like, yes, we have light going out the front, but we're bleeding out from other locations, and that's not really what we're looking for. So Anyway, I thought that was cool. I have lights. I'll go turn the other lights on. Here we go. So anyway, using the parts on hand, and this is what I came up with. So the next thing I'd like to think about would be, is there a way to, since I didn't put the decals on the rear corner here for the brake lights, is there a way I could actually put functional lights back here? Because I assume if I pull out this panel piece and make the light shine in through here and put a red bit here, that would function. But I also need to see if there's some way I could make, so like front headlights, rear brake lights, and turn signals. But turn signals would be real hard unless I want to start going the microcontroller and LED route. And I just don't think I want to mess with that just yet. But still a really cool setup. And unless I can make it act like an RC car, I'm probably going to unmodify the truck. I haven't quite figured it out. Whatever way I go about it, I'm going to need to buy more parts to play with, because the Mighty Car Mods fan thing of saying, all right, well let's actually change the wheels, tires, suspension, that whole setup. That's going to be a lot of effort. I'm probably not going to do that. What I just really want to do is add more realism bits to it, because this suspension is fun to play with. It's like, well, I can even put stuff in the truck bed because it's a truck. So I don't have to wonder where I'm going to carry my spare parts for the truck. It's in the truck. There we go. All in there. So I also wonder, since I've been messing with it, that not wanting to move. So forward's fine. It's reverse that sort of torques out. I don't know what's up with that. I guess that gets into the whole engineering part of it, where that will be interesting to me. More to learn. Anyway, I think this is the final bit for now on this project. I'm calling this done. Super fun. Super glad I recorded it. I kind of regret that I spent the time where I was actually building this not on a stream on camera, because if I got it wrong, how I disassembled the front end, it's going to be a nightmare to put that back together. Other than that, thanks for checking this out. If you watched the whole series and got to this part, talk to me about it. We'll see you some other time.